All right, I don't know how this is going to sound. I don't know if the thing is going through this microphone. But, so this would be like a rehearsal. I'll let you hold the phone just in case. But what happened was, I went out there by Bentry and sat on the little bucket. The bucket on. So remember the little orange bucket videos?
Mm-hmm.
That was during the orange bucket video period.
Okay, that was a long time ago.
2018. I went out in the woods, frustrated, crying to our Father that I had been making all these videos and nobody was watching. Like I said, that one right there. Only 21 people watched it and nobody hit the like button. Nobody left a comment. And that was a video that I thought was highly important and really important. And so I'm out there crying. That's what was going on. And so I asked him for something to talk about. Got something right here. But I asked him for something to talk about. I said that I needed a message. All I'm doing is just spitting out random Bible verses that, nobody's really interested in. I needed something to talk about. And the answer I got was the earthquake.
Right.
And so I started talking about the earthquake in 2018. And even thinking that the earthquake or whatever, the earth was going to shake. I shouldn't say the earthquake. I said what I said was the earth was going to shake in 2018, talking about Revelations. What I know now is Revelations chapter 8, 1 through 4. So the error in that, now choose that word carefully, the error in that is that I asked Father for that and he gave it to me when I wasn't ready for it. And so in 2018, I actually thought we was about to get what we was about to get. I thought in 2018 we was about to get what are yet to receive, yet what's still yet coming. And that's why he don't reveal stuff to people. That's why I'm always the last one to know. Is because just like everybody else, when you get the words, you think it's time to go. And so in 2018, 5 years ago, I thought we were about to get hit with this solar flare. But not understanding now the sabbatical year and how that's the year of financial release. Well, that's this global reset that everybody else already knows about. Everybody's already talking about it. Even NASA has predicted this thing in 2023. When the government and everybody starts telling you it's already over and nothing you can do about it. It's like the stock market. If they had to be the one to tell you, you might as well just cry.
Right. I was going to tell you at the very minute.
It's too late.
Right.
Nothing you can do. It's over with. You missed it. The news. You looking at the news of what's done already happened. And so, in other words, they can prove it mathematically at this point too, somehow. And not only NASA talking about earthquakes, but you got solar activities. So you got the sun telling us to our face that this is about to happen. You can ignore everything else, all these people running their mouth. But, the sun is talking too. And it's spitting stuff at us saying, hey, warning, warning, warning. Get your act together, warning. I'm about to blast you, warning. Here it comes. And it could be coming on Atonement Day. I believe now. Within this last week, I believe now. All of a sudden, I believe now. I'm always the last to know. I believe now we about to catch a solar flare on Atonement Day. Before Atonement Day, the eve of Atonement Day, like leading up to Atonement Day. On Atonement Day, you will be getting the news of it, just like in Will's dream. You're going to be getting the news of a past tense event. When you wake up on Atonement Day, the event can already happen. So if you wake up on Atonement Day and ain't nothing happening, well, we'll just be talking about it for next year. We'll save this video for the next year. That's why I ain't telling you what year we're in or whatever. Because it doesn't matter. Well, I guess it does matter what year, in case it's this year. But if it's not, Earth's going to shake on Atonement Day. It's going to shake on Atonement Day. That's the next prophecy to be fulfilled. All the prophecies have been fulfilled leading up to Atonement Day prophecy. But now, will it be this year? No, because the Atonement Day prophecy is hinting around to, I ain't gonna say it's mentioned, in 2 Kings, chapter 25, the last chapter in the book of Kings. It talks of the fast of the 7th month, but it gives a relevant topic that lets you know that it's not really pointing to that time. Everybody knows that. But my point is that there could be a disconnect between the timing of the fast of the 4th month and the 5th month and the fast of the 7th month. Just like there is a disconnect between those two and the fast of the 10th month, which already happened back in 2022. That was the prophetic fulfillment of the fast of the 10th month. The next one up, as far as we know, is the fast of the 4th month, which would occur 2 years later. And the fast of the 5th month, which would also be 2 years later, meaning 2024. But where's the fast of the 7th month? Because like I said, it's not related like the other three are all pointing to the event that destroyed the temple, whereas the fast of the 7th month, like I said, is a random, isolated event. I'll show you right now. Yeah, I'm on here. Let's see. Last chapter in Kings. You start talking about the fast of the 10th month is the first one you hear about. That's the first one to be completed. That's when Nebuchadnezzar, and that's when they ran in and started the whole mess. Was the fast of the 10th, was the 10th month. Then you scroll down and you start seeing them talking about the 4th month. Well, there's the 5th month right in. By the time you get to the 5th month, they done starved them out for 2 years. Mm-hmm. They starved them for 2 years. And it was in the 4th month that they realized that, you know, it was too late. All the king and all the people of importance, even the soldiers, tried to escape. They left the city, abandoned the city and tried to escape. All the leadership tried to escape in the 4th month, 2 years later. And then in the 5th month, they burned the whole thing down, whole city down, marched everybody into Jerusalem. Mm-hmm. Well, you see that there, but then you come all the way down here and you start talking about what occurred in the 7th month. And so you done gone through all of this and all of that, and you got blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, where is it? Down here in verse 25. Right. And it starts talking about this 7th month. Yeah, and it starts talking about this other dude. Where is he? Can't really read it. Yeah, squirrels falling out the tree. Yeah, so that dude died. And so you say, well, why is there a whole fast around the fact that this dude died? And so that implies to me, and I still kind of believe that this atonement day thing is supposed to come after the fast of the 5th month. Like you're supposed to have the 4th month, then the 5th month prophecy, and then the 7th month prophecy. Well, watch this. When we come back and we look at Leviticus 23, when it's talking about the fast of the 10th month, fast of the 7th month. Now come all the way. We'll come all the way down here. Let's see. Looking for the 7th month fast. The Lord spake unto Moses, speaking to the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall you have a Sabbath for memorial, blowing the trumpets, a holy convocation. You shall do no service out therein, but you shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, and also on the 10th day of this month. Watch this. Let's look at this real close. Matter of fact, let's read. You don't look at this real. Take it real slow. Read it one time through. 27. Let me see which verse you gotta go to. No, yeah, you're going to read that verse and then jump down to 32. All right, yeah.
Okay. Also, on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement.
10th day of the 7th month, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's it?
That's what it says.
And then they go on and say what?
It shall be an holy convocation unto you.
Okay, this is a holy convocation. Okay, go ahead.
And you shall afflict your souls.
Afflict your souls.
And offer an offering made by fire
so it's
unto
telling
the
us
Lord.
What to do, right?
Right.
Telling us what to do. Okay, anything else about when it is?
No.
Go down to 32. Because we talking about when it is. We got plenty of videos on what to do.
32.
Go ahead.
It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls. And the 9th day of the month at eve, from even unto even, shall ye celebrate your Sabbath.
Now, that's different. And I done looked at the Septuagint and different translations, and they are both saying the same. They are all saying the same thing. Both of those two verses you just read are saying two different things. One is saying the 10th, and one is saying the 9th. My point is, okay, you have 1 year that this atonement day will be fulfilled. And if you look at my calendars that we've been doing, for years, I've been trying to look at his plan for years. It appears that the atonement day prophecy will be fulfilled in 2025. But then you look at the eve of 2025, you then backed up to 2024. Mm-hmm. But hold up, he's talking about the 9th day. That backs it up to 2023. Gotta read that carefully. It's like the atonement is 2 days, not just one. Mm-hmm. And so whereas, and then you look at, and then he specifies the eve, which will point us back to tabernacles. The eve, tabernacles, that's midnight. Tabernacles is midnight. Sunrise is spring. Right, sunrise is in spring, it falls in the fall. Sunset. So the eve, and so that backs us up to this year. And so what that would mean then, if there's any truth in what I'm understanding here, is that you will have the start of this thing in 2023. The start, the 9th day at even would be at 2023. And then you would have the 10th day at even at 2024 after the prophetic fulfillment of the 4th month, the fast of the 5th month. And now you're going to celebrate the fast of the 7th month in 2024, which is, the year you're supposed to have the global thing. The whole land supposed to go back to the people. The people get their land back. That's what, adds some confusion to this thing, because you kind of want to think that the people will get their land back at the end of the apocalypse, the end of the tribulation. But that ain't a Jubilee year. The Jubilee year is next year. So it's got to go down now.
So you're saying that.
Hold on, get it.
So you're saying.
Let's go over with the sheet.
It's going to, the 9th is going to be the 9th day as well as the 10th.
Well, the scripture says 9th and 10th. I mean, you're looking at it right there, right?
Yeah, the scripture says.
Scripture says 9th and 10th. So it looks like whatever is to occur is to start on the 9th. Like I said, that would be 2023. Maybe I'll have to put up that calendar as the thumbnail or something so people can see what I'm talking about when I start talking about these years. But these years line up perfectly. You can go all the way back to the 6th month there at Haggai, and when it talks about the events of the 6th month, it went down it was prophetically fulfilled with the Haitian earthquake. It came right on time. The Haitian earthquake was the prophetic fulfillment of that earthquake that we read about in Haggai. And so now we're in the 7th month, and we're ready for the 7th month to be fulfilled. And some of the first prophecies to be fulfilled is the memorial blowing the trumpets. But that one's already been fulfilled in 2017. That when people saw that Revelation 12 sign in the sky, that was the prophetic fulfillment of the memorial blowing the trumpets. That was the trumpet call when people heard our Father's voice basically calling us out into the wilderness so we could start this 7-year um, learning experience, you know, where we're learning how to, and then, you know, after this 7 years is over, 2024 is, you know, when you have the release. You know, people are supposed to get their land that is rightfully owed to them in the Jubilee year. And the only thing about this Jubilee year, what makes it different is that whereas in the last Jubilee year, we got silence, we got nothing. So you got 2 Jubilee years to make up for it, really. That's what I'm trying to say. And so,
Very interesting. Not much time left.
well, it's all the time in the world. The thing about it, it's a solar flare that could and probably will knock out all the electronics, or at least the unfortunate electronics. I mean, I do have other sources. Claire, I'm telling you, people who know about Claire, if you believe what Claire say, she say that we're going to have electricity, and she said we're going to have internet. But she say pretty much everything else is going to be gone. There, governments, and it makes sense. It's a global economic collapse, meaning once they're not going to have the money to rebuild, only because it's a global event. I mean, if it was just New York, if it was just you know, Russia, if it was just, you know, some country, if it was just Jerusalem, you know, everybody would pitch in and come and help.
Right.
But no, it's everybody. Your house, you got to lose your house, your stuff too. You know, how I'm gonna come help you when I done lost my stuff?
Right. It's too overwhelming to even begin to try to say, okay, now we're just gonna help New York. Well, that's gonna cause an uproar.
And that's gonna be part of the problem, is because that's what they think. They're gonna be isolated from the internet for a while. We'll get it back eventually, of course. At least, you know, that's kind of what Claire says. So we gotta come back if you believe what Claire says. But there should be at least a few days when they don't have service. You know, you can expect that, you know. And so during that time, these people will be expecting help. It's like, yeah, they're going to come and help us. They know. Because you're thinking like the old days that everybody's watching you on television.
So like Katrina.
Yeah, you waving up at satellites. You know, you done built this big sign. You're like, they can see us from the satellite, so let's build this huge help sign. And you don't know that the satellites was the first thing to get destroyed. Those are the first things that's getting knocked out the sky. The first thing. So the way you would know that we just got hit, the way the majority of people gonna know that we just got hit by this thing that we're talking about is that the direct TV will automatically go blank. Is it? And that's gonna be it.
It's not because you didn't pay your bill.
That's what you're gonna be thinking. But then you're gonna find out that your neighbors went out too. So now you're like, oh, but they just in a little outage. We'll get it back later. Everybody, and then them people, them people who now say everything gonna be all right. They'll be the first. It'll be all right. No, it's not. It's never coming back on. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You may lose the electricity at that time. Like I said, Claire, and I have to give a link to this lady. You don't believe it if you want. I don't really believe everything she say, but you know, I got discernment. I can spit out the bone. I know what the bone. I know what the bone feel like. And she simply says that part that, you know, as far as the apocalypse, the only thing that's surprising out of what she said to me, if surprising, is that she said, and she said it emphatically as if it was a statement of fact, is that we will have the internet because we will be able to communicate with each other. But she also says there will be a grand gulf between the two halves of the United States, and you will not be able to travel there anymore. You're only going to be able to communicate through this internet. You're not going to be able to. The Mississippi gonna get too wide. You know, in other words, and you ain't gonna have no ship to cross.
Yeah, I remember her saying that.
Well, I don't know if we're recording. I don't know how this sound. We might have just been wasting all our time. So we're gonna go ahead and close this video out.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the squirrels.
Oh, running over the top of our heads.
Dropping acorns on us now.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they done ate up all the pecans. Now they're getting the acorn.
Acorns, yeah.
How many of them up there? 1, 2.
One right there, two right there, three right there. There go one, four. There go one. Oh, that's a bird. Five.
See, that's why you can't eat squirrels. You think you'd be worried about an apocalypse if you could eat squirrels?
Right. Oh, they on the other side.
Huh?
The sheep. Look like it. All right.